Well, if
about
you're a
it.
fan of the movie, I remember the time that it was announced. It was a sad day when they said they were going to remove remove Back to the Future from the theme park.
Yeah,
People
the ride.
still ask about
It
it.
was
I
a
know.
fun ride. It was
It was
really
a lot
cool
of
ride.
fun. And then how many cars were on that ride that were connected
There
together?
was.
I mean, they were all
1, 2,
partial,
3,
but
4, 5, 6, 7,
You
8.
remember?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
There's two. Yeah, there's two levels. There were
Right,
two
two
floors.
levels.
Yeah.
And so it was
3 and 3,
16,
I thought.
16
yeah.
cars.
I loved kind of looking out and seeing like the nose of all the cars.
Yeah,
if
you know what's
wanted to
funny?
peek out.
If you're in the front, if
Yeah,
you look over,
I
you
know.
can see other people going.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I did Back to the Future. I didn't know you wouldn't call it IMAX. It was larger than that. It was. I
was
experienced
huge.
for the first time vertigo, and I knew what that was because it's like it's more than I can process, and I was just kind of. You feel it like you're in a dream. It was the
The
greatest.
sound
feeling.
stage was huge.
Yes.
Huge for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and one of the great Blu-ray extras now is that you can have the entire ride as part of the
Oh,
Blu-ray.
that's cool.
I mean, the whole beginning where you walk through, where Doc is there, and
Yep.
even Biff is a part of all that.
Hey,
You know,
butthead.
well, it's funny. Tom Wilson, for a long, long time, he shunned
Yes.
Back to the Future. He had nothing to do with it and everything. But just recently, he actually went back. He is now a friend on Back to the Future forum,
Oh.
and he's starting to recirculate.
I think all actors who have a big role like that go through that. I am Spock. I am not Spock. You
Yeah,
know,
when Leonard
that
Nimoy
happens.
wrote the book-
I am not Spock. Right, but then he came around and he said, "You know what? I am Spock." So he is Biff.
It's where the money is.
Well,
That's right.
Biff was the giant heel, and I think sometimes fans don't necessarily separate reality
Right.
from the fantasy. And if they see Biff, they're like, "You're a jerk."
He was a bully in
Yeah.
all
You
three
know?
time periods in all three movies.
Yeah, and like,
Hey,
no.
call me a butthead.
And he hates
actually
manure.
I'm actually a person playing Biff. I'm not Biff, but whatever. Go
People
ahead.
can't separate that, and so he
Right.
needed to distance himself for that.
Well,
for a while.
Makes sense.
Tom's told me that there are so many times that people want him to. People want them to put him in a headlock.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
They go,
noogies and
right.
stuff.
Hey, McFly. Yeah, yeah, I get that a lot too.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps going McFly. I'm like, hey.
Yeah. So the ride left Universal Studios.
Correct.
What kind of do you remember the announcement coming down, or it was rumors for a while?
It was rumors, and then in 2007, we got the notice that they were canceling it, but they weren't telling us why. They didn't tell us what was coming in.
Right.
And then when we found out it was The Simpsons, I was like, really?
Yeah. And you got to feel like there's a resurgence right now. There's a little bit of regret on their part that they didn't stick it out a little bit longer.
Well-
it's not exactly something like Captain EO where you can just throw it back in the theater where it
Oh,
was.
don't even. I'm sad
You'd
about
have
that
to
too.
rebuild. I mean, to
Never
put Back
saw
to the
it.
Future back in now.
Yeah,
would
but you know
just
how
be-
many times in Captain EO, all I can think in my head is Hooter.
I know, that
That's
voice.
all I keep thinking. But at the same time too, there is a new rumor mill that the Back to the Future roller coaster,
Oh,
Yeah.
something-
VR, it's VR coaster.
Something. Oh, VR, virtual reality. Interesting.
Yeah.
Those don't take up a lot of space like a real
No, they
roller
don't.
I
coaster.
cannot deny nor confirm any of that information at this
That's
time.
how you start a rumor.
Let's
Yes.
get Christopher Lloyd in the audio booth now and start recording audio and video for whatever this is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of the way I feel like about what's his name, the insult comic.
Triumph?
The comic dog.
No,
Oh.
the insult
what I
comic.
thought.
Don Rickles. It's
Oh.
like
Oh,
if
Don.
if they're gonna make another Toy Story, let's get him in the audio booth now and just start recording these.
Mr.
Like
Potato Head.
just start recording
'Cause he might die.
the dictionary
Really
word for word
soon.
because you never know
Yeah.
how much longer he's got, and you don't want anybody else to be Potato Head. You don't want anybody else to be Doc Brown.
No,
You
no,
don't-
no. Nobody else can do Christopher Lloyd.
Right.
And Michael J. Fox. I mean,
Well, Bernie Sanders might be able to.
yeah, if you think about it.
So
Sorry, that
no,
felt
that was
flat.
great. I had to think about that because
Wow, that was
I-
silence.
Oh, we went politics.
The-
Okay.
No, that's fine because I have an episode for a segment that I work on the news. A comedian just made that joke how Bernie Sanders was like, "Marty, we have to fix the economy," and I can't believe you made the same reference. That was great. So, what's a day to day like for you now at the park?
Right now I do Popeye,
Yes.
and I still miss Marty. The funny thing is they never renewed my license.
Oh,
to do the likeness.
Oh, so you're not
Marty's
legally
not-
able to do
I-
it.
No,
They have to go back and
which kind
have-
of gives me free reign now because I can go and do it anywhere I want to and not worry about universal repercussions.
But it means Michael J. Fox has to sign the form again because you've
Or-
expired.
Correct. But
Oh,
Michael
okay.
knows. But I've gotten to know Michael enough. I've met him many, many times, and he knows that I do it. So as long as I do it in good taste,
Sure.
and I don't do anything risque, he's
Sure.
totally
Oh,
gives
yeah,
me my
totally.
blessing.
So, will you do voiceover work for him on anything that he currently
Yeah.
works on, like on the Good Wife? I know he's been on, and he had the Michael J. Fox show.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of car commercials lately. It's really
Sure.
really funny for Back to the Future, but for Michael. But yeah, pretty much, you name it, I'll do it. I mean, I am a
and this was a
voiceover.
great nostalgic year for you probably, and for Back to the Future, and for Universal.
When we were at the park on the 21st, we had one of our cars. It's amazing how many people actually, they didn't know about it. They didn't advertise it. And people showed up, and they showed up in character.
Oh,
They
wow.
had Jules, Vern, Doc, Marty, little Doc, little Marty. I mean, and the
Wow.
line went from because we parked it by you remember the Lucy Plaza?
Yes.
Yeah.
All the way around down past Shrek.
Oh, wow.
A line and that shows you how much that movie impacts, and people want to come to the park to see it. And it drives me crazy that they don't want to do anything for it.
I have a question about the actual creation of the time machines. I know you have tons of options of what you can possibly do. So
Right.
what would you say is the average time it takes you to take a bone stock DeLorean and turn it into a time machine?
It takes us 4 months.
4 months.
Because everything, we don't resin cast. Very few things. Everything's made out of aluminum.
Everything's fabricated
And we don't have anything in stock. Everything is handcrafted per car.
Nice.
And it from start to finish about 4 months. But in our contracts, we say when it's done, it's done. To do it right. But the original car. I don't know if you guys know a lot about Back to the Future. Of course you do.
Sure.
I know a little bit.
We're
Yeah.
in Gods and Monsters.
Little
You
bit.
guys are nerds.
I
so-
read the book. I wasn't a fan of the movie.
Kevin Pike is the one. He was the actual supervisor. Kevin's great. He takes credit for a lot of it, but it's Michael Chouffet was the one that actually fabricated the car. You had Andrew Probert was the one that came up with the concept drawings, and the very first one was a refrigerator. The time machine was going to be a refrigerator
Yeah.
before
Oh,
they
wow.
decided to
Heard
change
about
it
that,
for
yeah.
a DeLorean. So Michael Chouffet went out to a military scrapyard, and all the parts on the rear deck were made from a B-210 military helicopter. If you look at the green tubes, if you stand them upright, they are the hydraulics for the
Right.
blades of the helicopter.
Wow.
But all the parts, it's very hard. And it's funny because we had to get screenshots to get the right dimensions and the right look for all of the parts. So, yeah, it's about 4 months.
And another interesting trivia point was when they were talking about making it out of a refrigerator, they were doing that because it was lead lined, and they
Correct.
said that would protect them through
From
the
a
time
nuclear
travel.
explosion. yeah.
And that's where the stupid Indiana Jones and Crystal Skull bullcrap came from.
All
Because
believable
it's,
now.
it's the same guy who then put that information. Or
Well, just put him in
Yeah.
a refrigerator. He should be fine.
Well, at the same time, too, Bob Gale was worried that with the lead line, but the kids getting in it and dying because
Sure.
Right.
that's the mom.
Right.
Yeah, the refrigerator is not a really good idea. to
yeah,
put them
but
in.
there hasn't been a refrigerator made in the last 60 years that has that latch on it anymore.
That's true. That's true.
Well, even when it came out, there really wasn't a latch on those.
Your grandmother might have had one,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So other than DeLoreanTimeMachines.com, do you have a place like on YouTube where you have videos or anything like that?
Yeah, if you go to, we have a side company called Legends for Hire.
Okay.
That is all of our entertainment-based stuff, and we do everything from Star Wars to, whatever the client wants. We've made, like I said, we're making the B9 robot. We have Bill and Ted's phone booth that we built.
I want that.
Yeah.
want that.
Wow.
Whatever the client wants, we'll create.
Oh, man.
And so, yeah, we have that. We have the Jurassic Park Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
And
On your website, I was there, and you do other vehicles, not just
we do
time
any
machines. Sure.
vehicle that they want. But the funny thing is we kind of want to do other things. But DeLoreans, the time machines, are still our
Super
hot
popular.
item.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
crazy.
Well, listen. I mean, the DeLorean was a bit of a flop of a car. There's no reason to actually get one except to turn it into a time machine.
Right.
It's horrible to drive.
Right.
The turning radius is like
Bad.
turning a semi.
It's not powerful.
No, it's not. It's hard to get up to 88 miles per
Yeah,
hour.
the movie was realistic. Yeah, that car.
Would have needed a mile and a half.
I'm sure on one hand they were happy to have the car in the movie.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the big plot of the movie is that the damn car keeps breaking down.
Yes,
And they
had a
probably
lot
weren't
of-
thrilled about that.
Yeah.
that's kind of reality.
If you
though.
hit your head on the
That's-
horn, it may restart.
that's reality.
Well,
for
Christopher
DeLorean.
Lloyd actually talked to us about it. There was an event we did in Washington for the 21st where we had one of our cars up there, and my business partner was there, and Lloyd, we drove him to the red carpet. But they sat forever, and Lloyd looked at him and goes, "Can I vent for you? Can I vent?" And he goes, "Sure, Mr. Lloyd. What's the problem?" He goes, "I hate hitting my head on the overhead."
And they always probably want him to
And
do
he
that.
did.
Oh,
He
do the
hit
thing
his-
where you hit your head.
He hit his head on there, but we didn't put it in that time
Oh.
because we knew. He goes, "Thank you for not putting that in." as I hit my head.
He did that in every movie.
Michael always talked about hitting his head on the door. When he would jump out, he would bleed. He
Right.
would hit his head on the door, and he goes, "It's really hard to walk away from being in that car."
Right.
And but yeah, it's fun. If it's up north, it's got a cold start relay. It hates being up north. You got to start it once a week, or it's not going to start at all.
There's a hardback book out right now. I don't remember the title of it. It's kind of like the history of the Back to the Future, but it's sealed up in plastic, so you know it's good. But at Barnes and Noble, they had one of them open, and you can flip through it, and it's not only just a big hardcover book, but you flip open, and there's a actual Save the Clock Tower
Yeah.
flyer.
Yeah.
And then there's also the letter that Doc wrote to Marty, and the letter that Marty wrote to Doc, all separate.
Yeah, we have
But
one of those.
Also, there is a photograph, and it's one of those three-dimensional ones when you tilt it, and it's
Yeah.
Marty and his brother and sister, and when you tilt it, they disappear
Yeah.
from the well that they were standing behind.
That's
It's
cool.
that's an awesome
Phase out of
awesome book.
existence.
Yep.
Crystal. Hey, every time I do it, she laughs. What are you doing, Crystal? You got a problem? We gotta look for Doc.
You know, I grew up with this film. Like a lot of the
Absolutely.
dialogue, just like a lot of the dialogue is drilled in my head. You could probably recite the whole movie.
I know.
yeah,
at this
pretty much.
point.
You know, it's funny when I go to cons and stuff. They go, recite this, do this,
Right.
and I'm
Yep.
like, okay, sure. Whatever.
I loved how when Marty's holding the camera on his shoulder,
Yeah.
and it finally clicks into his head what he has done. You built a DeLorean out of a time machine,
Yeah.
and how did
Wait
he
a
raise?
second, Doc. Are you telling me he made a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Yeah, it's just great the way he's said that line.
And Eric Stoltz was great. But,
Yes,
you know,
I've seen all the footage.
Michael
they
was
were
just-
smart to recast. They really were.
Yeah,
that
they
was
did.
really
Eric
smart on their
Stoltz,
part.
go do the mask.
And that
Right.
was 85, right? I mean, 1985.
Yes.
Yeah, it debuted
And the
in 1985.
DeLorean was around in 81 and 82. So
81, 82,
Already
83.
on its way
that
out.
that was the super hot car at that moment
Yeah.
because they had already finished their production run and everybody who wanted one had one. That was a cool
was
car
it.
back then.
Yeah. It
Super
was.
cool car.
And back then though, they're $25,000, brand new.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back in 1985, and now you still can buy one. You can go on
You can get
Craigslist
like
and
a
find one for
8,000.
25. For 25,000, you can buy
No,
one.
it's
yeah.
cheaper than
Wow.
No.
Oh, cheaper.
Really?
Well, one that somewhat runs.
Well, not too many of them run. I mean, because
Well,
they've been sitting around in some guys.
Believe it or not,
barn.
if you can get one for like $40,000, it's in pristine condition.
Okay.
So other than the Back to the Future, and you said you did some for other movies, do you have any other movie titles you can think of that you've done builds for? You do anything for Tron or anything like that?
We have a friend of ours, the Parker brothers.
Yes.
They
yes.
both- Tron bike,
They
yeah.
have the Tumbler. They have the Batman bike. They actually bend our
They built
pipes.
the Tron
that sounds
motorcycle.
really
Didn't
kinky right now.
They built the Tron motorcycle. I
Yes, they
believe.
have the Tron
Yes.
motorcycle.
Oh,
They
sweet.
have Optimus Prime.
Right.
Oh,
fully
cool.
functioning motorcycle, I want to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it
fully
is.
they
functioning.
figured it out.
The Tumbler, they've
I'd
made
never
3
ride it.
tumblers. But a lot. See, the funny thing is the flex bands. It's hard to get a guy to bend pipe, and that just sounds so wrong. already.
That sounds hilarious.
Is their tumbler electric?
No, it's gas.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Because was the one in the movie electric or was that gas?
that's another movie that
It
I
ran
don't
on
know.
it ran on bat power.
Oh,
I don't-
fancy.
You know what? And speaking of that, I'm still trying to get used to the new trailer.
I know. I just
I
saw
haven't-
it today
I
too.
haven't
These
seen
are
it yet.
those are trailers I don't mind watching. Star Wars, I haven't done it, but this, I'm still getting a feel like, oh, and then there's Lex Luthor standing between them. Oh, Clark Kent and Bruce
Yeah, but
Wayne meeting
Superman
for the first
looks
time, and it's
bad.
like,
he looks mean and he looks
right.
like
And Lex Luthor looks too young.
yeah.
He's really, really young.
Who is it? Jesse Eisenberg?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
But what do you think of Ben Affleck? As
Of course, when it was initially announced, it was like, "Oh my God, this is horrible."
He's
But then I saw
Daredevil.
he's very hard-faced right now, and we're not really seeing him act in these trailers yet.
That's
so
true.
They may be doing that on purpose.
He just stands there.
but I don't know.
and Wonder Woman showing up at the
end of the trailer,
Yeah.
yes. I don't know.
Just stop it. Just stop it.
Maybe they put Wonder Woman in the movie to deflect from
But you could do
remembering
this
that Ben
movie-
Affleck is Batman.
You could do this movie without Wonder Woman and then have her in the next one.
Yes.
You could do this movie without Superman.
Yeah, it's just making. I just don't get it. It's just it's making him look mean, and it's really hard for like my. It's hard for my generation. Why am I
Well-
saying I'm old?
well, look.
My generation to make him look evil.
Freddy,
Krueger?
Nightmare on Elm Street movies were great. Friday the 13th movies were great. Freddy vs. Jason was something we wanted for 20 years, and then when we finally got it, we were like, oh, that sucked.
Yeah.
Because it did.
But did you
better.
look at it and go, "Can I have another one?"
It was better in
To,
our heads.
to maybe fix it.
No.
Oh, to fix it.
No.
It was better in our
Because,
head.
Yeah, in the idea of the movie it's like a threesome. The idea is so much better than the reality. So like
It never
just,
turns out
I
right.
feel like everybody wants something different out of this Batman vs Superman, and nobody's going to be happy with it. And it's going to do 60 million, and then it's going to fade away, and then it's going to be another failed Superman movie.
No, I think it can do
Yeah.
60 million its opening week. I think it'll do a little bit better than that because the trailers are more enticing than the original announcement.
Are they? I
that-
haven't seen them.
that- yeah, it just came out this week. I was surprised somebody at work brought up a side-by-side photo of who's the villain in the new movie?
What?
In the new Superman Batman movie?
Lex Luthor?
No.
Oh,
Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor.
No,
Loser.
Doomsday? Is that a...
Oh,
yeah, I think you're
not-
right.
Is Doomsday the right word? If only we had somebody who knew comic books here.
I know.
But-
you know who would know?
But the thing is,
Spider would
if
know.
it
Are we
is
in a
Doomsday,
comic book store?
it looked exactly like the Abomination from the most recent Hulk movie. I mean, if you put them side by side, the CG characters are like somebody copied and somebody pasted and took the horns off and made this Doom. Is it Doomsday? Doomsday is the one who killed Superman in the comics, right?
But you would think that Batman would have kryptonite and be done with it.
Right. Bat Kryptonite, he just kind of throws at him.
Well, yeah, because otherwise there's zero possibility that Batman could in any ever beat Superman.
Well, maybe they don't know about Kryptonite.
Well, he
yet,
could just
do
like
they?
talk to him. I'm Batman.
Well, Superman is basically a god that has one weakness, and that's some.
And that's
weird
what I'm worried
meteorite.
about with this because you look at the trailer and it looks like he knows he's a god and he can do anything and everything.
Yeah, Batman's smart, but he's not smart enough to beat a god.
But yet Beetlejuice is coming out again.
There we go.
Wait, what? They're redoing
Beetlejuice
it?
2. You didn't.
Oh,
know-
2.
Wait
part
a second.
2. No, part 2.
Yeah,
part 2.
I was about to
got
say
you.
Michael Keaton's on board. I mean, they're gonna do it.
I think it's been too long.
No.
I think it's been too
Come
long.
on.
Well, listen, they're doing another Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, but it's girls.
It's all
I'm not
girls.
thrilled. I'm sorry. I am not
I'm not
thrilled.
either.
And I'm sorry to all you feminists out there. I think that's stupid.
But Dan Aykroyd's going to be a taxi driver in it.
Oh, good. Well, as long as he's
Yay.
making a cameo, then there's.
Is he producing that movie at all? Does he help writing it or?
Hold on a second. Is Dan Aykroyd being a cameo, or is he
He's a cameo.
reprising his role, who is now a cab driver?
As far as I know, it's a
That
cameo.
would make sense.
Fuck that. No, because that makes me angry because the audience isn't stupid. If Dan Aykroyd's in it, he should play his original character, maybe down on his luck, and
And
he's
do
a,
the pass the
and-
torch thing.
Yeah, pass the torch. Maybe he's
Yeah.
a
Even the
cab
Ecto
driver.
is completely different.
What is it? Is it a neon? What is it?
It's not neon. I mean, they're using. It's similar. But
No, I mean, is it a
it's
PT
your
Cruiser?
Girl
What is it?
thing.
It's stupid. And it's not going to be the same without Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
it's
all
right.
they're gonna do is
it's
run
a
around
Fiat,
and
It's a
whine.
Fiat 500. What is it?
That was my, he was my favorite.
I
one
met
of my
Harold
favorite
Ramis.
characters.
Rick Moranis is
You
out
what?
also.
Yeah.
He's
Back
no
in the
deal.
again, this
He's a very
is
private
like
person now.
dating me. Back in the early '80s in Colorado.
I love Harold Ramis.
We were in Colorado and we were snow skiing, and one of our guys got injured. So we went to the hospital, and we're waiting in the emergency room. And to my right was Harold Ramis.
No way.
Wow.
That's cool.
Harold Ramis with his daughter. His daughter fell off the ski lift
Oh.
and got injured. So we're like, "Hi," and
Starstruck.
yeah, and he's
See, now
like,
his daughter
"Hello."
would remember that story because she got hurt, so she could be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that
Yeah, I need
day.
to contact her. Go, hey, I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
when you got injured.
I was there when you got hurt." What?
I was in the room with you. No, wait.
How'd you fall off a ski lift?
At the very beginning, she didn't like fall like midway.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought she felt
All right,
midway.
all right, all
Like
right.
trying to
No.
get on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's tricky. Getting on and getting off, that's tricky.
It happens. It happens.
I want Egon.
I know. In
It's not gonna
another
happen.
world.
Not-
Once again, like Greg said, no one's. You can't please.
I was going to
everybody
name my
every-
kid Egon,
When
too.
they did
Like,
the,
if I have a
when
kid.
they
Still
did the
can.
animated Ghostbusters, why did Egon all of a sudden get white blonde hair?
I don't know. In the Pompadour
What the
thing,
hell happened?
I asked the same thing because I was a kid. I had already seen the Ghostbusters film.
Yeah.
And then it came out, and I thought the same thing. I was like, what
mean,
the heck?
great-
And then you had Extreme Ghostbusters.
Great cartoon.
Yeah,
but
it was extreme because wasn't there a guy in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
Oh.
You
Yeah.
got to give him props.
Come on.
Yeah, sorry. That was a joke when I
Um,
was a kid growing up because anytime they put extreme in the title of a cartoon, it meant that somebody
Mountain Dew.
was disabled.
Oh,
And
is that what
Slimer
it
was
is?
in it still.
Yeah, and they're bringing back Ecto Cooler. Speaking of which,
No.
the drink with
Oh,
Slimer on the
oh,
front.
yeah.
Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Any way to promote, you know.
I don't. I'm not. I am already biased. And Rick Moranis isn't in it. I love
I
Rick
know.
Moranis.
And Rick
Yeah.
Moranis is they're talking to him to do Spaceballs too.
Right.
I don't think
Now,
he'll do that either.
He might do that, but the Ghostbusters was always kind of
'Cause
a
Mel Brooks
smaller
is still
role.
alive, so-
Right. Right. I could see him possibly doing that.
I don't know why this popped into my head, but let's bring it back to Star Wars,
Yes.
and maybe we'll close down with that. How are we doing?
Yes, at 47
We'll close
minutes.
down there. Let's do some
47.
predictions on total gross domestic and then worldwide for its run. What do
For
we
its
think?
entire run.
Do you think it will unseat Avatar for top grosser
Which is
worldwide?
at
Yeah.
2 point
2.7.
something billion.
Are you
Is it
Everything
2.3?
international, everything
2.1,
international
2.7,
is
2.3?
Yeah.
huge.
So much of Avatar was IMAX, and Star Wars is going to get a lot of that as well.
But do we really think that Star Wars has the audience that Avatar had?
Yes. Yes.
It's got a whole
Star
new
Wars
genre.
had such a built-in audience. Avatar had no built-in audience, and
Yeah.
it hit that number.
Okay.
I don't know.
You got the old generation and the new kids coming up
going-
today.
I'm going to say it's going to be close, but no.
I'm
Really?
saying it'll hit 2 billion worldwide, but it will not unseat Avatar.
Really?
Nope.
That's rough.
Yeah,
That's
because I think it will.
I think
I have faith.
it has a smaller audience that is willing to see it more than once.
But look
You-
at the new Terminator. I mean, it did great
Genesis?
international, but domestic it didn't do so good.
True. That's true, and the international audience always gets bigger and bigger because more and more nations are developing
Right.
and bringing in those movies. I don't think it's going to happen because I was having a Facebook argument because that's what I do. I was having a Facebook argument
have
with somebody
arguments.
who was like, "It's going to be the first movie to 3 billion. It's
No.
going to be the first
I don't
movie to
know.
1 billion domestically." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it might hit 1 billion domestically, but
Well,
I
didn't
just
Jurassic Park do?
Jurassic Park is like number 3 of all time now, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow,
the new
really?
Jurassic
The
Park.
new Jurassic World?
3 or 4th
Oh,
of
it
all
made
time.
insane money.
Right. And I didn't think it had the following that Star
I-
Wars does. I think you're right though. 2 billion, yes. 3 billion, no. I think that's just too big of a number.
because there's people like us or you, not me. There's people like you who will see it 4, 5, 6, 7 times with different friends and stuff like that. And it's like, hey, what are we doing? Hey, we're going to see Star Wars again. But I just don't think that there's that giant market out there who will see it 4 and 5 times like they did of Avatar. People who saw Avatar the first time, as soon as they got out of the theater, they're like, oh, I have to see that again because
You're
it was
right.
so
It was
big,
so
it was
original, it's so different.
so different, so much.
I do agree with that, and I could see diehard fans seeing this movie once in IMAX, maybe once in 3D, maybe because you have to, because the IMAX theater is playing at 3D, and then maybe in a regular theater, and that's it, because you already know in your mind you've seen it 3 times, but you are buying that Blu-ray as soon as it comes out.
Sure.
So why not enjoy the Blu-ray?
Avatar wasn't that good, so I'm surprised that it
No,
made that much money. I did
agree.
not like that film.
I agree. It wasn't the best film made.
Right.
You know, it was no
Visually,
Citizen
it was
Kane.
amazing. though.
Yeah,
It
totally.
was an eye-gasm. It was
Right.
an experience for you to
Well, Cameron made the
experience.
new technology.
Yeah.
Those
Right.
cameras. I mean, it was amazing.
And it was. And when part 2 comes out, it'll do 2 billion. When part 3 comes out, it'll do 1.5 billion. I
If
mean,
people
because
remember.
because people just
True.
get tired of that sort of
They,
new
you get
experience.
surprised because Phantom Menace came out, got the worst reviews, and a little movie called The Matrix came out that year too,
yeah.
and just
Decimated.
kicked
it.
ass.
Crushed it.
Yeah.
I love The
in
Matrix.
technology and in every way, storytelling, and the sequels. That's a different
So
topic.
let's go back to actually Star Wars. You know, when Star Wars came out, it blew everybody's friggin' brains out of
Right.
their mind. So they went and saw it 7, 12 times.
Right.
When Empire came out, it was a better movie than Star Wars, but I don't think people were seeing it 5, 7, 9
You're right.
times.
Of the 6 films, the best is mostly considered Empire, and that one made the least amount of money.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Just-
they use practical effects. Now
Yes.
they're not using practical effects anymore.
Right.
No, it's all CGI Aladdin, but I'm hopeful that this new one, what is it, Force Awakens,
Force
Something
Awakens.
Like that, yeah.
Good God, man.
I'm hoping that the rumors are true and they used more practical effects than CGI, or at least JJ was smart enough to use CGI that didn't look like CGI, because I think people are just fatigued from the just CGI everything.
Oh God, when Lucas did CGI, that was, and he was like, "I'm going to replace all stuntmen now."
Well, what Lucas didn't do and what James Cameron did do was James Cameron waited until the technology was ripe or
Right.
mature enough to do what his vision was. Lucas was just like, fuck it,
Green screen
computers,
it.
computers,
Green screen that bitch.
everything.
Okay, you're on a spaceship, and the whole room is green. Oh God. All right.
Acting.
What we'll do real quick is we want to thank Rob for coming, but we want to go around the table real quick since you had a chance to walk around the store. Everybody tell us a little something about Gods and Monsters that maybe the audience doesn't know about. I was going to mention real quick that Gravity Falls Cenostory comic has come out, and Todd brought it to my attention. He wanted me to know because my girls are the hugest Gravity Falls fans, and the sad news that the show is no longer going to be after this final episode.
What?
The creator of the show said it was only going to be as long as it was going to be. Disney just told me not to make that announcement,
Oops.
and just in case I changed my mind.
Oh, you're going to
And
jail.
He didn't change his mind, and he said this was supposed to be one fantastic summer. and that's all it's going to be. And he's not going to milk it, he said, for more than it's supposed
Until
to be.
the money flows.
That's right.
Yes.
So for me, Gravity Falls,
It'll be a
Cine Story
movie.
comic is available here. Rob, what did you see here today as you walked around
You know
Gods
what?
and
I
Monsters?
just looked over and I see Voltron.
Yes.
That is from my time period.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I just almost did Squirrel. Because as we were talking, I looked and went, "Wow, it's Voltron." See, that's my.
We
God.
did a toy review of a very cool Voltron toy.
Yeah.
That was it actually had some Easter eggs in
Yeah,
the packaging.
that
It was
Mouse
really
didn't even
cool.
know about it until he unboxed it, and it was a couple of surprises. there.
Thundercats, Voltron, all that stuff. That
Oh my
was
God.
the best, man.
There's rumors of Thundercats movies.
I know,
happening.
and then they're talking about CGI or live action. I
Well,
don't know.
you know, shows from the 80s have been such big movies lately, like Jim, right? So let's keep doing
Oh
that.
God! I told everyone that was going to be crap.
Gem.
Gem is my cartoon.
I
Oh
know.
my God!
So,
Wow.
Greg, anything you see here in the store? You had a chance to walk
actually,
around? Pop
They
characters.
have these pop characters, and there's literally hundreds of them over there.
Is
and,
that the X Files?
Yes.
This is the X-Files.
My daughter bought
Yeah.
those for me for my birthday in August, and I try and put them up on the table each show.
And I believe I'm gonna pick one of these up and hang it from the back bumper of my car because
Oh,
that's what
cool.
Total Tools
There's
do.
also a
So
can-
that's-
there's,
you know,
there's
that's
an
what I'll do.
alien and a cancer man also.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go X Files,
Greg's a
but
tool.
I'll
Was
go
there a
out and do
Peanuts
something.
area, like a Charlie Brown area?
believe
Yes.
there is.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have to get
yes.
stuff from my wife before I leave.
Yes.
Big fan.
Queen, anything you've seen here in the store
Yeah,
lately?
I'm so glad you asked because I haven't posted it on Facebook yet. But when you come into the store and you make a right, there is on the other side of this thing with all the fake cameras on it. This is a wall that helps people get introduced to comics. There's all these #1 issues, and just to help people who like are lost and don't know what to read. There's all these #1 issues of various comic book series. So when you come in, if you're not too sure, pick something up right here. It only costs you like $2 or $3, and if you like the story, you can come and follow it thereafter. So for all those comic book noobs out there, there you go.
Come on out here for some Christmas shopping because this is definitely the place to be. And I want to say thanks for watching. I'm Art Miles and Greg Moan and Queen Q. We want to thank Rob Sims from DeLoreanTimeMachines.com.
Yes.
Check out
Yes.
their webpage. And
Yeah.
thanks for being a guest on our show.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, come back anytime.
And our
too.
next episode, we're going to have another toy review, and it's going to be another unboxing. So watch for that. Thank you for watching.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
See you in the future.
Hey, good one.